Yo, what's good, people? Welcome to the Black South. You heard me. Man, we want to thank everybody for showing us all that love on our comeback from our break. And,
always good.
Yeah, man. And we got a lot of responses. Shout out to Foster, man. He hosted a watch party. He had people watching at 7 o'clock in the morning, man.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's good,
awesome,
man.
and
That's
everything,
good.
man.
Sure.
Representing C-Train, Carolina.
I know, right?
You know?
Old school.
Way back, man. We need to have another reunion, even though I ain't walked with y'all.
I think they have.
I walked somewhere else, but
I'm
still 3 years with C-Train, so
Yeah,
man.
It was fun, but I don't want to see any of those people anymore.
Y'all hear that? He gonna be the first one to run up to everybody and give him a hug, especially April.
What's up, man? I heard what you said on the show.
April's supposed to be coming through to do some health stuff. Remember April?
Oh yeah.
She's supposed to do some health stuff with
Yeah.
me. I think I might have to sit that one out. I think I'm the only pleasantly plump one at the table. It's all good, man. It's all good. So today's topics, number one, boy. This getting ready to get hot. It's getting ready to get real hot.
It is, man. It is.
Child support. Chester. See that go your check. Child support. Now, my thing with child support, I'm just gonna put my view out there first because I feel like it's necessary. I feel like some men just don't step up and do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So hey, she gotta make you do what you're supposed to do. So I'm all for it. However, I do feel sorry for some fellas because, man, sometimes it's just cheaper to keep them.
Yeah.
You know.
Some of it's on child support that shouldn't be on child support because they have a bitter baby mama.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know dudes paying child support and still buying clothes.
yeah, me too. I
Feeding
know a
the
lot.
kids
Right.
and all that stuff. But, it all come down to it, man. A few episodes we done talked about it. Gotta get your pull-out game right. Or just don't go in. I'm just saying.
Because nobody went
I'm in all support of the child support thing. My thing is, with as little trust as I have for the judicial system and the court system, is that whose hands you want in making the decisions and how much and when and things like that. I agree 100%. You should definitely be taking care of your kids for sure. But why? How do we choose who makes this decision better? That's my thing about it.
Well, I mean, we got to be accountable. My thing is, as a man, and you don't really want that woman, and she one of them mopeds. You know what I'm talking? You know what a moped is. Everybody ride a moped. They just don't want nobody to see you riding it. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some of us don't care. We ride a moped anyway. Save gas. So if you know she a gas saver,
that's like half the population.
My thing is, why even do it? Like, I mean, I ain't never been that desperate myself. I ain't never took one for the team. Sorry, y'all. I just ain't
know how we men get. Let's say we get horny as hell.
I mean,
I ain't gonna lie to nobody because what happens. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I ain't gonna make it seem like it's all been dimes this whole road.
Yeah,
but just because you do what you
can, you do what you can.
What about self-control? My
I
thing
ain't got nothing. What's that mean?
Hey, look, I'll be honest with you. I mean,
don't get me wrong either. I'm older, more mature, so the self-control is a lot easier now. But when it comes to women and self-control, when I was 21, 22,
you wasn't thinking with your brain.
it was way more difficult in the grand scheme.
I guess I was ahead of the game when it came to that. Cause I always think about my finances. I'm just saying, like, ain't no. Especially,
you was early to start though.
But but I also got me. It still ain't no. My daughter's ain't no moped.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I agree 100%. We all want dimes, but it just don't always happen like that.
Yeah, but it come down to.
I don't want kids, so I would never want it, no matter what it was. That if I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying?
But I don't see. I don't care what type of job position you're in, where you at. When you with a woman, and you in that moment. How can you not think about your finances? I mean, you can tell when somebody out to get you, boy.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think
I'm not thinking about having kids at that time. Like that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I can see now because once you be with somebody so many times, you kind of know their character and where they're going with this. But most of these dudes on this crazy ass child support, they wasn't in the long term. That was supposed to be just a one night.
Well, yeah, and this all because most people are having kids when they're young.
Yeah.
But you really ain't got no real responsibilities.
100%.
Really.
Yeah.
So you just doing whatever. But
Speaking
older.
With them people having kids when they're young, do you think that's the reason why you see 2-year-olds like this twerking?
Oh man, that's
100%. We was 100% it is. And again, we talking about Z-Train, our old stomping grounds. They had a high pregnancy rate.
I mean, but still, okay, wait.
When we were in high school, a lot of chicks getting pregnant.
I'm gonna do this because you my homie.
Uh-oh.
You see this episode right here? Now I straight up asked that man, 9 years old, would you let your daughter twerk? And what did he say?
I'm not saying yes by any means. I'm saying you right that it's because of young mothers.
Now my thing is,
I'm agreeing with the young mothers part of it. I'm not saying I don't know the young mothers personally.
Look, Natty, right here. You said.
Me personally, no.
Yes, I'll let my daughter twerk because I was in a very controlling household. Right there.
That means he took it out of context.
That's funny.
I couldn't take that shit. I'm telling you this, man. If you let your children twerk, you are raising a baby thigh. She ain't gonna have no left cheek or no right cheek. She ain't gonna have no cheek. Like,
yeah, you
there's
are.
no ifs, ands, buts. I mean,
no, okay. Now I remember what you're talking about because I said it because you sound like old people. Like, people thought that about doing the twist in the fucking 1930s. It's not the same thing. Like,
do you see
dancing, how you raise your children?
Do you see those ones right there? That little girl feet? I'm old for not liking that shit, right?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying to say that all these kids are all twerking, they all gonna be thighs.
All of them.
You said all the ones that twerk are gonna be thighs. He said all these little kids.
There's a very
that you are judging at a very young age.
That's a high percentage.
There's a very high likelihood if you're twerking at
what is your twerking?
You are
Where
going
did
to
you
be
get these statistics from? With a very high percentage.
Listen, Napoleon. This is a 2-year-old right here with money.
I'm not saying it's right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
she's already developing pole skills.
Getting them at a young age. How to say teach your child at a young age?
I'm not saying
so.
I'm just like,
I'm not saying that.
Stop.
Like I said, it's right.
We gotta be some real parents. I don't give a damn if you a 17-year-old mom or a 38-year-old mom. Come on, man. You gotta have some type of dignity about yourself.
Well, that's the other thing too. A lot of times you got older moms who trying to be cool and trying to do
that shit ain't cute.
And not only the girl that was twerking, but the kids that was watching gonna think they thinking it's okay. So
that's what I'm saying. When you go to rap concerts and
Mama,
sporting
how come
events,
she got all that money?
Kids.
Wait, Mama, how come she got all that money? If I twerk, can I have some money too? See? I mean, that's how they looking. Come on, man. See this.
Have you not been keeping up with the Kardashians?
I mean, who cares about? I mean, the Kardashians number one. Now, I ain't racist. I love everybody. They white folks trying to be black culture.
Okay. They are. They pop culture in general.
No,
at this point,
they fronting. They ain't really us. They trying to be us. And that's the reason why that shit gets so hyped up. I mean, name one Kardashian that didn't pay for that ass.
Oh, I'm not saying
asses are natural. Black women have beautiful, natural, curved asses on their own. They ain't got to pay for them. A brother like me helping hook them up. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, or a brother like you or you. You know, we contribute to the black ass. But anyway, Kardashians, man, they're irrelevant. Next.
That's not true, but I hear what you're saying. Whatever. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I don't watch the show, but that shit is pop culture. It is popular. It's what's in.
That is an example of how our culture is stolen and marketed, man. But what I'm trying to say in a whole, man, come on, y'all. I love our people too much to let us keep doing shit like this. 2-year-olds should not twerk, man. 6-year-olds should not twerk. 8-year-olds should not twerk. Now, my thing is, you know, a grown ass woman, what you do in privacy is private. I think twerking should be intimate.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Now I want to know what intimate.
I think twerking should be done in the bedroom. Your old lady. Okay, so if your future wife was out here and she did a twerk video right there on Facebook, how would it make you feel?
We grew up together. We went to parties right around the corner from our house when we was in middle school, and we listened to music that our parents wouldn't have liked us listening to. We danced with girls. We did all the shit. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing.
No, it's not. It ain't the same, man. It ain't the same because, you know, if you really think about it, when we were growing up, even if we went to a house party, it wasn't like streamlined twerking. A woman wasn't sending no twerk videos to your phone to get you to like her. You had conversation before she bounced that ass on you, right? I mean, it's different.
Well, that's technology and stuff. That's a different conversation.
No, but now it's like, you know, somebody gonna twerk for you before they even know your name. I mean, but that's just me. I don't really, you know.
Like I said, a
you
lot
know,
of what
walk
you
up
talking
to
about
me
is
and
the
just
technology
dance,
part of
dance
it.
on me in the middle of the sitcom, like, and then ask me what my name is. Is that how it is now? So
Well, like I
shit.
said, the technology is different now too, so you can get it instantly no matter where you are, and people are willing to send it. It's not like it used to be. But hey,
in person.
when I
Yeah.
had a pager back in the day that would get a girl to call and make sex moans and shit on, because I was a little
Yeah.
kid. I didn't know no better, but we didn't have the technology we have now.
Now
We were
it's
working with what we had.
It's just my pager though.
Oh,
But that's what I'm saying. We had like pages and voicemails, and we were doing other stuff to try to get these girls' attention
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. If we had
Yeah, I
had
remember that.
the technology they have today, it would have been different.
yeah, it would have.
We'd have been out there trying the same stuff.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
do y'all think? Do y'all think this is acceptable, or you think it's something we need to change?
No, I'm
Oh,
still
it's
not
not
saying it's
acceptable.
good. No, it still
Yeah,
should be
it's not
behavior that's
acceptable at all.
known as not acceptable for tiny children to partake in, no matter what it is.
So what age is acceptable?
See, I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm not a parent, so me throwing out age don't mean nothing.
What age would you allow your daughter to twerk?
I don't plan on having any daughters or
Okay,
kids in
what
general. If I
age
can help
you're
it.
asking
Okay, what about your
When
nieces
you
and
say
nephews
oops
then?
and you have your daughter,
I'm gonna say 12.
12 years old. So
You
your
listen to
sister's
music.
daughter-
If a kid is riding with me in my car, they're gonna be listening to music. They're gonna be hearing everything that's out.
So you
doing
gonna let
songs,
your
everything.
niece or a child get
My
in your
thing-
car while you listen to music and start bouncing her ass?
I'm not. Whoa, not for not.
Well, I'm
no, they
saying,
doing it for
if
me.
he
said in the car.
No, this is not what I didn't say.
Did he
It's
say
12
that?
in the car with me at all times. No, I'm saying 12 years old. You're a young adult. Do what you want to do. I'm not gonna tell you what
Well,
you should.
me, I'm
shouldn't
saying
be
if
doing.
you living under my roof, ain't gonna be no twerking. If you want to do that, you can move.
That's what a
Go
lot of parents
somewhere.
say. We just did it anyway, though. That's the thing.
Yep.
That's not how it work either. Because you say that, they just gonna try to sneak and do it more.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, it all got to do with parenting because my daughter, I follow up on my daughter and I got a proud father moment. So I looked at my daughter's YouTube to see what type of music she be listening to. Every search for every song, whether it's a new song or old song, there's the word clean. She types the word clean. That's from example. I feel like children do. You lead them. You don't tell them. You lead them.
Yeah.
If she
Well, that's
see that
the
I
other
don't
thing,
listen
too.
to a lot of cussing, and my daughter probably heard me cuss 3 times in her life, and it's the same old word, ass. And then she asked me, Dad, why you say that? Ass is an animal. Go tell your teacher. You won't get in trouble. Ask her. And, you know, so it's all about leading these kids and not trying to,
Yeah,
to
'cause they
push
gonna
them.
watch
Well,
what
that's
she
the
do.
other thing
When
too.
we
Yeah,
grew
if
up,
you raise
it
them
was-
right, you
we
don't have to
do,
say.
Yeah, you told whooping, they beat it in you like.
Now nowadays we can't really raise them the same way we was raised. I'm still
Yeah.
strict, but I do it in such a way where my daughter naturally there's no bucking. I communicate so openly that we can talk about it, and I'm gonna tell you why. And a lot of times she'll ask me, she knows she got homework to do, but she has to go outside first, and I'll say no, and then I'll ask her, do you know why I think that's not a good idea? You tell me. And then she'll tell me why she can't go outside yet. It's just different ways you gotta lead your children. So me, man, I don't do that twerking shit. But I ain't gotta fuss her or ask her not to either. She might do the floss or something a little bit too much. And as a black child, my daughter's developing. I'm like, hey, you need to slow that floss down.
So
But
how
that's
would you?
other thing.
So how would you
explain?
explain that to her? If so, okay, let's say you show her that video, and how would you explain it to her to the way that she sees? She know that it's not
Oh,
right.
she know what twerking is, and we already had that conversation. And what I tell her is that's not ladylike. And I tell her, I say, don't like people. I say, don't dislike people who do that, but you have a choice to be different. And see, my thing is, I get this a lot. Everybody always get this when you try to be, on a whole different level. You lose a lot of followers. So, she gonna lose a lot of friends too because some people she just ain't gonna want to hang out with because the way I'm raising her. You know what I'm saying? Same thing as me. I had it. You know how I used to be versus how I am now. How many people done fell out my circle.
Yep.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that happens. Yeah.
You know how you be. But so you're just gonna lose a lot of people when you try to walk a
But
different
even
light.
then,
But if
we
she
are
walks
very-
in that same light, I'm not gonna dislike her. But at the same time, I'm not gonna have as much respect for her. I don't respect
Our
twerkers.
culture though is a very rhythmic and dance
Man, our
oriented
culture
culture.
is
They've
full of
moved
shit
their
right
hips
now.
since
And then
back.
now
They've
it's
moved their
like-
hips and stuff like that since
Yeah.
back in the motherland.
Now
days.
it just got
they
worse
always
because
been like
it's
that.
Stop.
everywhere.
Africans did not twerk. Africans did not twerk.
Watch the video.
Their ass
They did.
naturally
Watch
moved.
the
It
video
wasn't
for
called twerking.
Watch the video for
Man,
this. I'm telling you,
he get ready to
it's
go
been
look,
like that.
look at some African
It's been
porn and
like
put it up
that.
here.
No, it's been like
No,
that. It's a
they
rhythmic
wasn't
culture.
twerking.
Dancing is always, music has always been a huge part of the culture.
I agree.
It has always been in the hips. Even the same thing with South America.
So you mean to tell
when it comes
me-
to salsa and all the Latin dance, it's the same thing, bro.
No, that's
it's
sexual.
a rhythmic
That's not
culture.
twerking. That's sexual. It's different. Twerking takes the
doesn't-
culture out of dancing.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not, like I said, saying I approve of
Intimate.
twerking specifically,
Salsa's intimate,
but you
right?
can't say that one thing is different than the other.
You can. Because that shit is completely different. Twerking is fucked up. I'm telling you. I mean, there's no other way to put it, man. That shit.
I mean,
there's
people
nothing
do pole
ladylike about
dancing
it.
as exercise.
Tell me-
I think that's
okay,
weird.
okay,
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
you can't
that's-
say
they marketed as
everything.
exercise.
That's what I
They
mean. Like,
marketed
all
it
this
as
stuff has
exercise.
been justified some way or another, whether you
'cause
like it or don't.
They tried to turn it into a good and do exercise. So
It's just a regular thing.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's only demonized when people demonize it.
Like, straight up, though. What's ladylike about it?
Ladylike is another myth thing. That's another one of these
Oh my
deep
God.
South things. that everybody don't think like that. What's
look,
ladylike about that? That's not very ladylike. Who says that? I've never met a girl. I'm like, you know what? You're not very ladylike.
See, that's the negative culture programming, because in every other culture, they care about how they present themselves, but us.
Who? Which
Every other culture cares
Which-
about how
name
they
one.
present themselves. Oh, specifically the
Germans?
Caucasians, the Hispanics.
How are they any different?
Look, they
How
don't present.
themselves
Look, as a
different?
whole, we're the only culture that can sit up there
They
on camera
can't dance, so
and
they
twerk
don't
our
dance.
asses
Well,
off.
like,
I
it
think
might
that
be
shit
different.
They
They may
can't
not
dance,
do it
so
on.
they don't
They
dance.
might
That's
do
why the
it, but they don't do it on
flossing
camera
dance
like we do.
Well, I mean, my thing is, I don't want to sound like I'm old or not, but at
But
the
you
same-
are, though.
I'm not old.
That's the real
seasoned.
thing.
I think I'm intelligent.
I'm just saying.
And my thing
I'm
is,
not saying you're not intelligent
and
either.
behind closed doors, my lady can twerk for me all she want, but she present herself as a twerker. That shit is just not. It's just not totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. That's private. It's something you should do in private. That's just my opinion. Comment and let me know what y'all think. Fellas might get off on that, but I tell you, is you gonna marry a woman that you met just because you seen her twerk video on Instagram?
Yeah, a bunch of people do that all the time, actually.
All the time.
Usually
They
the rich
do it.
dudes
Man, that
with
shit ain't
money
gonna
and
last.
shit. I'm just saying.
It ain't gonna
It happens
last.
all the time. Literally.
So next topic. Shit, way too much time on this damn twerking shit, but I strongly stand against it. But I want to
It's
see what the people
weird.
think.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of another thing that people were like really firm against, like the Tootsie Roll. When the Tootsie Roll first came out,
Nobody-
all the Christians were like, "Y'all shouldn't be doing that Tootsie Roll thing, shaking your hips."
I
So
didn't
I
hear
get
that.
it. It's the
I
same
didn't hear
thing.
that. I didn't hear no Christians bucking on Tootsie Roll, because Tootsie Roll.
No, it was like that. When we were kids, oh yeah, my parents, the Tootsie Roll was the devil because they moved their hips too much when they did the Tootsie Roll. When they did that dip
Well,
and
that's the
Tootsie
same thing I tell
Roll.
my daughter,
Like,
quit flossing so hard.
can't do it.
Quit flossing so hard. Okay, so next subject, we talked about child support a little bit. Then we talked about
I don't know nothing about child support.
girl twerking right there.
Didn't need it because I ain't got
Now
kids
we're
either.
going to
so.
talk about low-paying jobs, man,
Oh.
because that falls in the line of child support. And I'm just going to give an example. I think a lot of people settle with their jobs, because on every
Yeah.
single job interview, you have a right to negotiate salary. And I done been on some jobs where they offered me $12.50. I walked out the room with 15, and I'm sitting next to the same dude who driving the forklift for $12.50, only because I spoke up and I didn't care if they gave it to somebody else. I think that our culture needs to start knowing our worth more, because I think we the main ones that sit up there and settle for $12 just to have a job.
Yeah.
And first of all, $12 on a meal, that ain't enough anyway. Man, there's
No.
people making $13.50 starting at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I know, and that's
Hey, the cost of living is different, but that's here too. Like I said, I think minimum wage in Oregon is $14.
I mean, and it's like there's so many different things holding the African American culture down. And it's not just one specific thing. It's some stuff we do to ourselves, and then there's other things that, let's just say, the man does to us. You know what I'm saying?
The man.
The man does to us. So when you combine all of these things that we have against us, and then our own self-hate, our own self-hatred and self-destruction, how do we get out of this mess that we in?
I don't know.
I can't answer the question, but I think it's going to take a lot of teamwork and unity and people. Another big thing about the internet and about having the access we have, I think, is messages get out further, faster. I think doing what we're doing now, talking about it, letting people know how we feel about different things, instead of people saying, "Oh, all people from South Carolina are dumb," or all black guys who do this, that, and the third, all guys who have dreads act and talk a certain way.
We don't
You know
smoke
what I'm saying?
weed either. We
Yeah.
don't
But that's
smoke-
what I'm
we
well.
don't
Speak
smoke
for
weed.
yourselves. But I'm just saying, it's different for everybody. Everybody's a different person individually. We're all snowflakes or whatever, like they said before. Everybody's unique and different. So you got to express that. People don't know it. People all think, oh, everybody from New York talks a certain way. We all have these stereotypes and things like that. But once you meet two people from New York and realize they talk totally different and think totally different and act totally different, it's different. Then you meet five and realize all five of them are different. Same thing with down here. Ain't nobody the same whatsoever.
But one thing I do know is I think we need to find a way to unite. We do need to find a way to unite.
That's our main problem, especially us as black men. Our egos, man. It's like everybody wants to be the man. Everybody wants to be in charge, but nobody wants to follow.
Yeah,
Like sometimes
you gotta share that spotlight.
yeah,
Right.
but they don't want to do that.
And help
man.
raise your brothers and sisters up, man. We, crabs in the bucket. We keep acting like crabs in the bucket. Every time one of us get to the top, somebody had to pull them back.
Yeah.
down. Crabs in the bucket. Good old Southern black man.
But see, even I was listening to Jay-Z talk about this the other day, and he was saying how crabs don't belong in buckets. This is the other big problem. We get put in the bucket.
Yeah.
Crabs don't belong in buckets no matter what.
We got
You know
put,
what I'm
we got
saying?
put in the bucket.
And then
when they brought
again,
us over on
if
that ship.
they was
Yeah.
linking up and helping each other out instead of all trying to get out at the
Yeah,
same
see,
time, it still could
good.
work. If they did use teamwork and united and all the crabs lined up, they could work out a system where they get out the bucket.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works out with them mentally. When they thinking about it instinctually, they trying to, you know what I'm saying, climb to the top. And you're right, it's the same kind of mentality. We got to switch it up and be like, look, how can we help each other? How can we help one another? Instead of how can I advance myself? And that's what America is as a whole too. So it's hard to get out of that mind frame for us as a people, especially because the whole system is built like that. How can I get to the top? How can I get the most money?
But
How can
you
I
know,
be
one
Jeff
thing I
Bezos or
learned
Donald Trump or whoever? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
easier to get to the top as a team than it is as an individual. That's one thing for sure. It's always powers in numbers. That's why, some of the most successful people, every successful person has a team.
Oh yeah.
They have a team
You
that
got
they
to.
consult. A constellation team.
That's just like we was talking about the low paying jobs, and with us, and it's like, okay, with your employees, if you get promoted to that next level, and people will start trying to start talking about you or trying to get you out of that position because they want that position.
Right.
And it's so sad. I mean, it's really ridiculous how our mindsets are. And like we know a lot of white people. You would say white people, Caucasian. They stick together, man. Like,
Did you hear about Connor? He got that promotion. He got that big job though.
Yeah, like, and
Man,
I don't
so proud of
understand it, man. Like, we all can make it if we help each other, but that mentality is.
I guess people think there ain't enough money to go around.
But even then, I'm not even trying to go black white with it. Again, go north south. Like I said, we're in the deep south right now. In the north, they have unions. They have labor unions. They have teachers unions. The teachers that went on strike in Columbia a week ago, it was awesome for them to unite and get together. But what's it going to accomplish if they don't have a union to actually get their goals put across?
Well, we've tried to develop some unions in the manufacturing plants here in the South. And what happened was, I ain't going to say the name of the particular plant I know about or how I know about it, but the union came forth and the employees at the plant had to step up and agree and sign a paper saying they wanted to be a part of it. And in fear of retaliation, not enough people signed up to even have that union. So out of fear, once again, we still stuck in the same.
Well, it's an at-will to work
because
state too, so
Because
employee can fight
people
for
feel
anything.
like, if I sign it, then so it's.
We got to change somewhere. We got to start somewhere, man. And I hope this show can just start, just change it. First, it start with a mindset. We got to deprogram, just like that twerking shit. We need to deprogram and get that out of our heads. So
It's not gonna happen.
it will, man. It will. Because I tell you what, if we don't deprogram, every culture is going to be erased anyway. All this multiracial, and we're going to have a mulatto America where there is no black or no white. So we're going to have a culture so mixed that it's going to disappear anyway. I might not be here to see it, but You know, we can either change now and live, you know, our days better, or we can just wait until it just flushes itself.
But that's what I'm talking about. You talk about the culture. That's the part you don't like.
I mean, and not everything about our culture I don't like. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and announce this. We're gonna have a soul food tour. I love the food in our culture.
True.
I love the fact that we can have fun when we get together. I love the cookouts. I love the music.
Right.
Not all the music, but most, especially the cookout music. I love that music. You know, I mean, I like the positive things of our culture. Just like with every culture, there's negative things. You know? And all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start upon. So our last topic, because we're cutting this short, we got to go and start the soul food tour. Absent fathers and toxic mothers, which is worse?
I think absent fathers.
I don't know. I say toxic mothers. Just to have an opposite opinion, firstly. And secondly, I don't have much experience with either of these.
Yeah, we know. We know that. We definitely know that.
I'm just saying, my parents are pretty cool.
Hey, absent fathers or toxic mothers. You know, to be honest with you, I'm gonna have to say toxic mother, because the toxic mother's always usually there. So the absent father, he might be a bad person, but he ain't there to give no influence on that child. So that toxic mother is there feeding that child crazy ass twerk videos and shit. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think a toxic.
I say absent father only because my father wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I hated seeing my mother take on such a big load.
Yeah.
Because it was, I know I had a sister which she had a different father, but me and my other two brothers had the same dad. So she had to work 2 jobs just to take care of us. And then, you know, the part that I hate is once the child grows up, then the father tries to come back and wants to be in the child's life.
After the hard part is done.
Yeah. That's what really...
So I'm actually kind of with you, because, you know, I was in the same situation. So if I had my grandfather, but my dad was in Birmingham, and, you know, when I got older and started driving, I was able to go see him. But when I needed him, that's when he was in Birmingham, and, you know, I didn't get to see him much. But I look at how it turned out, and I can only imagine.
And that was because your grandfather, because that's what I was. I was like, because I always thought, like, what if I didn't hang with my grandfather? What if I didn't go? Because he stayed in the country. He taught us a lot, like farming and stuff, and how to be a man. What if he wasn't there, and I had to learn from my mother?
Yeah.
Which is a problem that a lot of men go through, and then some of them turn up feminine. Yeah.
You know, they were raised by women, you know. But then again, I can you imagine a life being raised
with a toxic mother?
Yeah.
Woo!
Well, see, the only reason I say a toxic mother, because I do know I have a friend whose mom is like terrible with the stuff she says to him, like the story she spins. She tells, like, she'll tell him lies to get him to come to the house for different things, but then they'll just get drunk when he gets there and end up fighting like every time.
Is this
he hates hanging out. No, but he just hates going home to hang out with him. But every time they finally convince him to, it's always a disaster. Every time he comes back, and it's because his mom is just Looney Tunes.
I don't know if I could live like that.
It's crazy.
And it would be something for, especially with toxic mothers, dealing with the daughter. That's what really gets crazy. Like, like teaching them twerking. Like we talk,
Can't stand that shit. It makes me angry.
I'm sure there's good mothers who teach their children how to twerk.
You know, do what?
I don't know. I feel like y'all being very general.
Don't be
hard on mothers
cursing,
who
but
teach
you
their
can
kids to
twerk.
twerk.
Man, you know, my thing, I get embarrassed when I see that mess. Now, given, you know, we all human, I think there's a particular time and place for twerking.
Not for no little kid, though. Definitely not for no little kid.
Not for no children.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in the club and stuff like that.
Yo.
I mean, back in the days, you know, old folks used to dance. They didn't twerk per se, but they still had a good time. But, you know, I guess
What did they used to do?
They used to do the
Grandma
freak.
might have been banging it up when she was young.
They used to do the freak and the down on electric slide, and, you know, they used to grind a little bit, you know. I mean,
because of the music culture, and you kind of got that.
And see how music changed.
That's a big one.
Where did your mom and your daddy meet?
Where they met?
In church or at the club.
My mama wasn't a clubber. They probably met somewhere like a restaurant or she might have been putting gas in her
You
car.
better ask her now. She might be surprised you.
My mama always been shy.
You don't know about your mama, son.
Up in them late night spots now.
Yeah, she used to be real shy. Who your parents meet at?
Well, they met at work, working at a meal.
Yeah. I know my grandparents met working. Well, no, they both lived in the country, but they both worked at the hospital, and then they retired from the hospital. But you know, back in the days, man, they had it's like the culture and the relationships and the urban, everything changed.
Yeah, because it did. I mean, if you think about it, back then, like I guess it didn't have child support. You ain't have no choice but to take care of your kids. And then we talked about the absent fathers. Your father was there, like
most of
back then, yeah.
In fact, you know, if you was a father that walked away from your child, you were shamed by the whole community.
Yeah.
That's so and so child. He don't claim him. You don't claim him.
Yeah.
And you were shamed by the whole community. Everybody knew that was your baby.
It sure did. Everybody do that.
Everybody except for your wife. They keep it away from her. But you know, that's the thing. Like they really, literally. I mean, it was made a big deal, and so that's why it didn't happen.
Too, it was different reasons. Back then, times were harder. So I feel like, especially like our grandparents, like my grandmothers were both sweet ladies, and they both married very hard men.
Yeah,
because they needed that protection to survive. They both did have a bunch of kids and had things had to get taken care of. They needed men that worked and that were tough enough to make it. You know what I'm saying?
These days don't have 4 and 5 kids no more. I mean, some of them do.
And then like back then, you know, the mother stayed home, cook, clean, or whatever, and the father go out and work. Now you got women out here working and men working, and maybe women going to clubs and stuff. They got so much free time because they really don't have to clean up. They don't want to clean up. So
yeah. But you know what, y'all? We're going to wrap this one up before we go on a whole nother hour. Y'all, we appreciate y'all for watching.
Like and subscribe.
And tell us what y'all think, man. Number one, I do want to know, y'all like twerking?
I want to know if y'all like Alabama.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I hate Alabama. And I want to know who else hates Alabama with me.
I love Alabama, especially Birmingham. What about you? Yeah.
I ain't never been.
It's definitely the worst state in the whole United States.
Man, that's part of the South. Boy, you better chill, man. The worst state in the whole United States. Where's Trump from?
We'll get into it.
Where's Trump from?
New York, I guess, right? New York, I think.
I like New York. He can't be from New York.
New
York.
I don't have a clue, really.
What's the orange state? What's the orange capital?
I don't know.
All right, so I'm gonna quit talking about my man because he made my stock go up last week. Appreciate you, Trump. Hey, but comment and definitely tell this dude, man, get out Alabama. All y'all Alabamians, you know, if y'all want his personal address, I give it to you for the right price.
It's a terrible place.
So like, share. YouTube, theblacksouth.com, shirts, rubber bands, hats, coming soon. Hopefully that's the last time I got to say that. We have a leak for y'all next week. We started the soul food tour. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about
soul food. We're about to hit some of the best soul food restaurants in the South.
Oh, sure.
We ain't going to get fat.
Yeah, we just gonna eat a little bit. We on low carb diets here.
Can't speak for all of us. I hope somebody gets fat. It ain't gonna be me though.
Oh, damn, I'm gonna close this one too. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the Black South. You heard me.
Peace.